Hey, I'm Sumit, and today I'll be presenting to you Room. So right now, if you think of AI, you pretty much have this UI terminal, or you have this chat interface where you can talk to the agents and AI, or you have Claude CLI where you have these skills and whatnot. So it's very single player. Let's say you want to share this with your maybe with your coworker. You have to like copy the entire transcript or whatever, and even then, it does not share the context. So that's why I built Room. So as I mentioned just now, agent work is still single player. Someone starts a solo agent run, and the rest of the team just watches a screen share. And there isn't really much to it, right? And when the path goes wrong, you will have to burn the entire thread and start over. So when things go wrong, example production goes crashing down and there's fire everywhere, then if I'm working on the thread at a certain time and I want to pass it to someone else, it's going to waste a lot of time because the other person has to start a new conversation and build the context all over again. So this is what this costs. So of course, silent teammates gets too late and burn runs. You can find this on the landing page as well, and that's why we created Room. Room is basically a multiplayer AI platform where multiple people can share the same AI context. Share. This also facilitates handoffs and context sharing. So there is join, steer, gate, and resume. So that's essentially one shared session. So you can basically present and plan and work on the same AI agent at one time. So you can think of it as like a Miro or Google Docs for AI agents. So you can steer with a restart and also own the gate. So the product itself, this is not a mock at all. This is how the actual product looks like, and I'll be showing a demo later as well. So this is the room. This is just one aspect of the room. There is the lobby as well, and you have the history where you can see all the past rooms that have been made in the past, right? So multiplayer is the product. If a second person cannot change the run, it is not the room. It is just a single player AI. And these three beats are the demo proof, right? So there's presence on join. So I'm going to be creating two different browsers with the same room URL, and then the avatars will land together in the same room and have the same context at the same time. Second one will be steering mid run. So you can skip the PI. We can talk to the AI. We can ask the AI to change directions according to how we like it, and also get and handoff. So example, if I can essentially just approve and reject actions, and of course I can even pass it over to another worker. If I have another task to do, I can pass the whole context over, and there will be no need to start a new thread all over again. So it's simple. You can just open a room and bring a second browser in, and you can start working on together at the same time. No need for passing long transcripts or wasting time doing all the nonsense. You can just get straight into the room, share contacts, share AI agents, share integrations, and work on it together. So you're bringing it from being a solo project to being a collaborative multiplayer project. That's essentially what we are trying to do here. So this is the main UI. You basically have lobby here. We can see all the rooms and the shared live sessions for the team. You have history of the rooms and you have templates. This is just for development purposes. So the main parts are just the lobby and the history. Sure enough, if I were to open Slack over here, I basically integrated this application with Slack. So this is the latest message test beyond. And right now I'm just gonna so let's assume that with Slack I have pager duty, and then everyone's sleeping at 2 a.m. and suddenly you have pager duty and ringing out, right? So I'm just gonna come over here and page Slack incident. Okay, Slack page. So there's a new message here, and over here you can see there's a PD checkout error spike, and now it's basically prompting me to create a room to basically collaborate and talk about this incident that has been happening. So if I were to create room, you'll open this up for me. All right, so this is the room which is created based on the PagerDuty ticket itself. So over here it says that there's checkout severity, there's a very high error rate of 25%, and the shared context is here as well. So I think you can see all the past comments that have happened, and basically, if I were to open this on another browser, I can see the exact same thing. So I'm gonna do that right now. Uh, let's create this. I'll go to the new tab here. Okay, so I'm gonna press on this invite teammate link copied, and I'm gonna paste it here. Now I'm gonna join this as Alex. So now Alex and me, we're both in the same room. I can see talk to the agent. can you summarize what has happened? For instance, we can just send it over, and the AI should respond to me right here. So the checkout service has experienced a higher rate of blah blah blah, and recent comments include fixes and features that can relevant to the problem. At the same time, Alex can also see what's happening here, right? So Alex over here can see the exact same conversation, the exact same text messages that has been sent to him. So right now, what we have to do right now is keep trying to figure out the problem, right? So at the same time, with as we have these text messages, we also have a canvas. So this canvas basically shows like a overarching view of what's happening. You have PagerDuty alert here, and then you have GitHub, the recent commits, and you have Slack. You can connect them together to create full contexts, to chain context together. So for instance, if you have a if you have a document in Google Drive, for instance, if you're talking on Google Drive, then you can sort of bring that over to here so that the AI can understand what's happening. For example, I have Google Drive here. I can just connect it together. Let's say here maybe. Oh, here, yeah. So now when I do that, the AI can essentially pull from Google Drive and maybe find the document I'm looking for and add it to the whole context, which Alex also has access to. So we're sort of creating this very collaborative environment where multiple people can come in, look at the same agents, look at the same canvas, and figure out what's happening at the same time. Now, of course, software engineers aren't just looking at this and figuring out stuff, right? They're looking at code bases, they're looking at Jira tickets, looking at all sorts of different things, looking at PagerDuty. And so this is just to simplify things for them, right? To pull things from different applications like Google Drive, from GitHub, from Slack, from Zapier, etc. This is just for demo purposes. Right? So this is just the canvas part, and this is chat part. And in canvas part, you can also add notes. For instance, example like maybe you can set rules like AI should not push without permissions, the sort of things. And then you can just connect it to steps. For example, draft a concrete fix, because this is related to fixes, right? So when this happens, the AI will know you're just adding another context to the whole context layer that the AI has. So this is how it works. And if I were to go to this canvas again, and if I were to go to Alexa's page, right here, you can see that you can see the cursor, right? Right now it's a little unclear. Just zoom out a little. Yeah. So essentially, this is what the canvas is about. It's sort of like a mirror for AI agents. Yeah. Oops. Sorry, you can see that you can see Alexa's cursor over here. There was some issue just now, so that's why it wasn't rendering. But here I fixed it, so you can see the cursor, and everyone can pretty much work on this at the same time. They have the same contexts, and they can add even more context if they want to. It's basically creating like a whole stack sharing thing, right? A sharing concept. So once we have done certain things. For instance, let me just show you a good path. When you just create a new room, maybe a debug room, maybe create and start, and let's say it's gonna pull, and I basically can click on these suggestions by the AI. Example, you can investigate what's happening, what should the AI do next, and at the same time, Alex on the other end can also see what's happening here. He knows the chats, and if I want to, I can work on other things while Alex takes over, and then after he's done with his part, I can come back again and share and continue the same AI context, right? So it goes on and on and on. Maybe you can just generate a PR maybe at the end. So I'm not gonna go into the PR step, but essentially I can even pause the session. I can pause it to maybe we discuss offline or whatever. I can set a checkpoint, and then afterwards I can resume, and then afterwards we can obviously continue the conversation after resuming it. So once I'm done, of course, I can just press resolve, and the issue will be resolved. And if I go back to lobby, it's marked as done, and it will be marked as done for everyone as well, right? So just now in Slack, we had this PD2043 issue, right? Which is this one. If I were to come here and press resolve and I go back to Slack, it's gonna say resolved P2043 instead resolved in room, and then we will have the room link here as well. So if anyone wants to go and figure out how their issue was resolved, what steps were taken, they can do so very, very easily. They can look through the past conversations, they can look at the history that has happened in the past, figure out how to do it. The interns can learn from how it's done as well. So it's basically a whole collaborative tool that I'm trying to do here. Right. So I hope you understand what this is about, which is trying to create multiplayer AI for businesses. It's sort of like a mirror board or Google Docs for AI and AI agents, and of course all the different integrations and stuff. So yeah, that is the end of my demo, and I hope you enjoyed it.